a sort of better idea. I'm going to try to log in real quick, as I always do. Just give me a second, but then I'll get to the brainstorming. Oh, no. Not that. Alright. So we are in on the other device. That's all good. Now, my thinking is I'm going to do a classic, shoot. I forget what it was called, but it was in Saving Private Ryan. And it was like sort of the final battle scene. Oh, what's up, RTH? Welcome to the stream. I've come a little bit more prepared this time, so I hope that I don't have any more troubles while building this. I think I'm going to extend this a little bit, so before I even get to building, I'm going to do that. I don't think it's a horrible idea. Maybe just a little bit longer. Yeah, anyways. I'm posting a vid tomorrow. Nice. I'll have to check that out. Alright, and that should be fine then. So we're going to do something like that, and new. And that. And that should be it. And I can just throw those on. Throw a couple of black plates on wherever those are. I'm not sure where I put those, which is sort of a problem, but I'll figure that out, I guess. Give me a second. We're building a sort of classic battle in France type of build, but it's from the final scene of Saving Private Ryan. I really forget what it's called, but if you know, please let me know, because I'm totally blanking. But anyways, my plan is I'm going to have a bridge here, which I can sort of outline right now. I'm going to have it maybe there. I'm going to have it about 7 wide, so like that. Then I'm going to have probably something like that, or maybe even something a little bit smaller, moving up on this side. Or I could just have like a larger battle scene. I'm not sure I need to include a vehicle here. It's not Liberation of Paris, but good guess. Ramil's? I forget what it's called, but it was the finishing battle in Saving Private Ryan, and it was really cool. But anyways, I'm probably just going to start getting to building. Now what I actually kind of want to do here is I kind of want to sort of start with an outline here, so I'm going to grab a couple of pieces and then throw down that stuff. So it's going to go something like that. Then find a piece real quick. It's going to go like that, then that. And then finally I'm going to finish it off with just a top piece, maybe something like that. Which I actually think that sort of accent looks pretty nice there. I'm building a sort of Ramil's battle. It's from the final sort of part of Saving Private Ryan, and I thought it was a really cool battle. I can't really remember it though. I'm pretty sure it's not Ramil's, but if I think of it, I'll tell you. Yeah. It might be Ramil's. Maybe I am remembering it correctly, but I feel like I'm not. So it's probably pretty good. Now what I could do is I might just have like a sort of wall that goes through this already, because I feel like that would look pretty nice. And my plan is I have a whole bunch of these blue pieces. I'm going to use that for the river. Oh, those are the Vietnam War packages. Only 2 of them have arrived, so I will definitely have a video out by this week if the other one comes in. But you never know with those packages, so it's the minifig co, so it could take a really long time. But I'm really excited for it. I got some really good parts, and together it's going to make a really cool package. Only got a couple from different companies because you can't get everything from the same place. That's sort of my problem with this stuff, but I don't have many problems. It's really cool stuff. And something like that, maybe. I think I'll just probably finish it off there again. Now on the other side, I can save myself some of those more better parts for that by just building across like that. I'm not going too detailed on this other side. I'm not going too haywire. And that's probably pretty good too. So that's going to be the basic bridge shape. I'm going to actually swap that out because I don't think it looks quite as good as I thought it would. So I think that's probably a good height for the walls of the sort of canal. The back looks alright, but that's not our main focus here. Alright. So I'm going to probably grab some of these darker parts because I do have a couple. Now, I have a couple of these dark gray parts, so I'm going to try to sort them out real quick because those will come in handy. Already won likes, so thank you guys so much. Yeah, it's a real bummer my last stream was sort of a letdown for you guys. I'm hoping that Mock made up for it, though. I was really proud of it by the time it was finished. If you weren't there, I basically just panicked and then went into control mode and decided it would be better off if I just shut it down. So that might have been the better choice, but who am I to judge? Now, my main problem is I might not have enough of these darker pieces, but that should be fine. I'll probably be able to work it out. Alright. And just grabbing a couple of parts. Okay. So basically, what I'm doing here is just putting that all the way down. Because it's going to sort of show like the water layers sort of worn down. Seen better days, I guess. And it's just going to sort of build up, I guess, as it gets closer to the bridge. I'm hoping this will turn out pretty well. I'm excited for this one, especially after I sort of screwed up the last one, but I think this should turn out really cool. You got any tips for building roofs for buildings? You know what? I might as well just give you a couple demonstrations. Now, I feel like if you're looking for a simple roof, just doing something like this, putting it on a hinge plate, and then adding some tiles and stuff like that, that's probably my best bet for you. But if you have any of these sort of pieces that go like this, I have a whole bunch of them in other colors, but those work really well too. And if you're going for a flat roof, you just want to put like a rim around it so that it looks sort of better. That's about all I can give. I'm not a master on roofs. That's probably one of my weaker skills. But I'm alright with it. I don't think I'm horrible. If I'm giving myself some grace here. Okay. So I'm going to actually try to add some filler in real quick, just to try to sort of figure this out. Alright, but before I do that, I'm going to add in some of these water so that I can sort of get an idea of what I'm going for here. And decide if I want to switch it up, but already that's looking pretty good. I think that'll actually look pretty nice. Now what I do like about these pieces, when I got them I wasn't thrilled because I was looking for more of the tiles, but these actually like make a more natural look because I feel like they look like the ripples in the water and they impersonate that pretty well. So I can just fit a couple more in the areas that didn't get any. So one there. And I think that's pretty good. It really does level up a knock when you do something like that. I think it looks pretty incredible. Now what I might do now is actually sort of build up the sort of change here by adding in a little bit of this tan. And I think that would really look pretty nice. So again, this is sort of a rough process until you actually sort of build it all up, but it's well worth it in the end if you do it right. Keyword is if you do it right. I can't tell you the amount of times I've had an idea like this in my head and screwed it up one way or the other. That is just my dogs. Pay no mind to them. They're going to be barking all day. Alright. How was your guys' 4th of July? Just wondering. 2 likes, thank you guys. I know mine was pretty good. I bet you saw if you were looking at the post, but I went ahead and went to the fireworks show. It was really cool. I have a couple of things in my post, though. Pictures. Okay. Now I'm just going to try to build this back up again. Again, rough process, but if you do it right, it turns out pretty nice. And put something like that. I'm not American, so I don't celebrate it. Oh, nice. Well, not nice. I don't know. Do you like view that as a bad thing that you don't celebrate it? I mean, I bet you have your own sort of holidays and stuff like that. So, it's probably not the worst thing. I think that looks pretty good. And then I just sort of have to repeat it on the other side, but it should be easy enough. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty incredible. It was really crowded, though, and then it started absolutely storming. We were stuck in there, and it was sort of crazy. Crazy weather we get up here sometimes. Alright, and I'll put something there. Just one more there. And go something like that. And you see, I could make the path like a different color, but I'm not sure how that would work or how that would look. Because I could make it dark tan, but I'm not entirely sure how that would turn out. I'm not entirely sure how anything will turn out, so probably have nothing to fear. And just go ahead and do something like that. And and something like that. And finally, that should be good for the sides of the docks or canal. Keep messing that up. Anyways, actually, you know what? I'm going to try to spread out this water a little bit. But overall, I'm from where they gained independence from. Oh, you're British, huh? I didn't know that. Oh. We're free from you for a pretty long time. This is our quincentennial. I think that's, I don't know how you say it. Who am I kidding? Alright. Now I'm going to sort of build up around this with these gray plates, gray bricks. Just go all the way around. Make sure it looks all nice. And then I can add in some of the filler. This is actually turning out really nice right now. Of course, you probably wouldn't see it because it is sort of a process. To the untrained eye, this just looks like a big old mess of bricks, but I just hope it looks half decent. Alright, no, I shouldn't have put that there. Could actually use that. Now, I believe my dogs have shut up for a little while, so I can finally be in some peace when I'm building this. Alright, and just replicate that to the other side now. Do something like that. Actually, no, I'm going to sort of build this up a little bit more on the other side. Do something like that. Shoot. Okay, and something like that. It's not perfect, but it'll work. I'm trying to find the right piece here. It's not quite working. Alright, that's better. And something like that. Go grab another part. And then I will probably, I mean, that looks pretty good. Alright, I think I messed up somewhere in here. I just needed to do something like that, and then I'm going to add this on top. That's where I messed up. So now it fades away a little bit more naturally. I think. No. What did I do? I'm so confused. Because that could go there. Alright. Maybe I'm just making things up for myself. Alright. That goes there. Alright, yeah, that makes more sense. Me realizing how many holidays we made. Yeah. Probably did make plenty. Alright. I think you sent that twice. I'm not sure if that was... A lot of them are... Yeah, a lot of them are probably independents. I imagine a lot of African countries have the sort of same thing, but... I'm not entirely sure. And then something like that. That. Yeah, lag mistake, I get it. These streams just have like the weirdest delays on chat. Like, especially on my device at least. I'm not sure if you have that same problem, but it's just really weird how they differentiate. Alright. And again, just building this up all the way around, because this is sort of the border that you need. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to finish this on stream, because this is going to be a huge mock, but I'll definitely have a video out by tomorrow if I can. I don't have anything to do, so better this than nothing. Just hit 75 subs this week. Nice. Ooh. We got 3 likes. Thank you, guys. Alright, and then just cut that off there instead. Now I'm hoping that when this sort of comes together a little bit more, it'll make sense, but who knows. I'll just do something like that. And there it is. That is pretty nice, gotta say. I'm liking that. Okay, so we got the water there. I'm going to try to put a couple of those down. And I think that's pretty good. It says 4 for good. Nice. Again, it's probably lag for me, but I don't see that. Okay. Why did I put that down? I need to finish doing that. Okay. Again, just building this up a little. Now I'm probably going to add in some sandbags and stuff like that, as probably should. Okay. Add in that actually, and then throw it over there. And then throw down a couple more things. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is you want to add this sort of pavement. And I'm going to have it about 7 wide, I guess. I think that'll look nice. And then we're just going to do that all the way across to make it look even and nice. If I can. If I have the parts, which is probably one of my biggest challenges when doing these. My parts limitation. But I'm thinking this is probably going to turn out pretty nice. It is just going to take a pretty long time. I like the water. Why do you need so many brick removers? Well, you can never have too many, I feel. It's just like, I always end up losing them. And they do turn up an hour later, but I just don't have to worry about it now because I have so many. So, problem solved. And I'll put something there. Now I just need to find something that fit there. Now I'm not entirely sure how this whole... I'm going to work out the roads first. That should have been my #1 priority from the start, to be honest. Okay, this is gonna take a while. We're already like halfway through, and I'm just working on roads, and I have to build like a whole city still. But that's sort of the tedious process I have to go through when I do stuff like this. Okay, just throw down a couple more. Fair enough. Hello, Bricked Potato. I'm building a sort of final battle scene from Saving Private Ryan. It's the Rommel. It's the battle at Rommel. I couldn't think of it before, but I just sort of had that idea. I just opened up my door a little bit because it was, oh shoot, that's blinding. Whoa. Okay. All good. That's so creative. Yeah. It's not going to be entirely like that, but shoot. Did I mess up here? No, I mean, it'll work. We're not actually having any vehicles going across, so it could just be like a civilian bridge. Pedestrian bridge. I don't know why I said civilian. And then just throw down a couple more of these parts. Rommel, yeah. I thought Rommel was Soviets, but that's because I watched a high quality but bad figs good for the time stop. Nice. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you were trying to say there. No, I'm sorry if I don't quite understand. But I don't. Oh, 6 likes. Thank you guys so much. This is actually turning out really well in terms of viewers. Thank you, RTH, for sticking around for this long. Again, I will have to finish this off stream, but at the very least I can get some roads done here. Okay. Do something like that. And then just grab a couple different parts. Okay. It was like, good, bad, but good for the time. It was like 15 years ago. Oh, shoot. Mr. Jack, I think that was his name or something. He just posted something. It was Caucasus, I think. Yeah, no, he's really good. He was an incredible stop motion animator and still is. Pearl Jack. Mr. Pearl Jack. I think that's it. Crack the code here. I wasn't around to watch that stuff, but I kind of grew up watching some of JD Bricks stop motions. Those were some of my favorites, and they were really high quality, though. Even the figs were like really high quality, but his are more recent, too. No, you don't think it was him? Alright. Well, I tried my hardest. I guess not, though. Okay. What's JD Bricks I'm not sure if you're asking who he is, but if you don't know who he is, I'd check him out. Oh, what's my favorite? Shoot. I really like the Battle of Verdun, and it was like one of his most viewed ones. He's just so talented. I also like the Battle of Liège, which I think is one of his most recent ones, but I haven't really kept too much tabs on him since he sort of stopped posting. Well, he sort of has his spurts, so he posts a video and then he comes back a little while later. All right, I'm gonna put one of those down to keep this stable. Which I can't blame him, because if you're making something that high quality, it sort of takes a little. Okay, so I'm probably gonna put something like that. That'll be the sort of crossroads. Then I'm just gonna keep building. It's the best thing I can do, and okay, put something like that, and that's sort of that section of the road finished off nicely. Okay, I'm going to try to tile off this section now, because that's probably my next step in line for the process. Oh. Now, I'm just sort of modeling this off of the battle, but it's not going to be totally accurate to what it was. So keep in mind, it's not going to be LEGO World War II is the best fandom because we don't. Oh, yeah, buddy. I mean, I was lagging so hard. I'm shoot. I missed a lot. You guys are posting one tomorrow. Which one? Looks a lot better. Ugh, I'm missing stuff right now. You guys are just talking too fast. Can't keep track. Burma Part 2. Wait, I go into your channel and see Part 1. I'll be back soon. Nice. Thanks, SMG. Welcome back. I don't think you said anything in a while, but yeah, again, it's sort of just a process, so you gotta trust the process, even if it is a very questionable one. Okay. Now I just need to grab a couple of these parts, throw them down, and this will turn out nicely. I think I've seen a couple of your things, but I don't exactly remember them. Brick Potato. Also, Fire Name. Good job. Alright, so that's all good. Okay. I'm liking this so far. I think it's going to turn out really nice. I've said that a couple of times, but I'm basically just making the scaffolding here, and I'll probably do a lot of the rest of it later. So this might be a sort of boring stream, but this is going pretty well so far. Yeah, 6 likes. Thank you guys so much. That's the most I've received in a while. And then just sort of repeat that over. put something like that and that. And then do the same thing over and over again. Just takes a long time, but it's well worth it when you're finished. Oh, okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, you got to have the road extending all the way out there. I'm going to have this be a shorter walkway that goes through there. This is going to be like a sort of more of a road. I don't know what to post. Whoa. Bro, that's awesome. World War II battles in 2 weeks. I don't know what to post. Oh, post a mock video. I don't want to intrude on your conversation, so I'm going to just keep building. Yeah, mock videos are pretty easy, though. I'd say it's one of your best options if you're sort of without ideas. That's why I post mocks pretty often, but I think they're just pretty easy and fun to do. Okay. How many parts, though? I do, but they're in scattered bins. Yeah, I used to have that, but I just got an organizer, and let me tell you, it is... Well, I didn't just get it. I've had it for a while, but they're really useful. When you get one of those, you really don't have to worry too much about pieces, as long as you have a decent memory of what thing they're in, which I've had a couple of problems, but they're really useful. I'd advise that you get some if you have trouble with that. Okay. Naflo, how many American figs you got? Shoot. I have about the whole, I probably have about 9 there. But get your bins out and then sort them into I might need and might not. Then you got what you need and what you don't. 5 huge bins, and it'll take a lot of time, but it's worth it. Yeah. Sometimes if I'm really in need of parts, I will go searching through bins, but I've done a pretty good job of trying to keep it all organized. And it's really worth it. Okay. I'm going to use more of my color parts because I don't need them as much, probably. So they're the disposable parts. Alright, then throw that in there. I might go a little bit longer on this stream, honestly, because I'm having a lot of fun. You guys are keeping up the conversation. Again, I thank you guys for doing that. Okay. Okay, so what I might do is try to find a part that can go there. Because it's going to be sort of a thinner walkway. Ooh. Okay, well, that's great. Lost like the one piece that I actually need. Alright, sorry. I should get these out of the way. Posted some vids on TikTok, but I removed them because they were bad. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna finish all this road. Try to fit some. I could probably try to get some minifig positioning in here. So I think maybe having something like that over here, and I'll have him probably kneeling and firing. I might actually have that a little bit back though. I think that would look alright. And then just grabbing a couple of parts, throwing them in. Again, I'm finding like pieces, but they're actually useful to me. I don't want to quite use them. Alright, I'll do something like that. And that, and then that'll work. That's alright. I'm probably going to have like a German trying to rush the bridge. Maybe a couple that are sort of hiding and firing, but I think I'll probably have one like slumped against a building like he's been shot. Just gonna add a couple of these parts in, try to finish this whole bridge section up, and be nice and done. Hopefully. One can only hope. Done with the road at least. It's gonna. I really underestimated how long this would take. This is gonna take a little while. Okay, hold up. Alright, that'll work. Just like collecting vehicles, not authentic Lego ones, but like Kobe and 12GL. Yeah. Not quite my department, but I mean, if you can get them for a fair price, it's just not something I do. I always like to get some of the better quality ones. And I get the Kobe's probably decent quality, but it's just not for me. I don't have like any problems with it or anything. It's just I like buying real stuff. That can fit in there, and then it's going to be real satisfying putting in the last piece if I can even find one. Okay, I'll have to make my own. And that works. So we got the whole road system and everything all laid out. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a building here and another building over here. Then I'll probably have like a couple facades and stuff like that. But overall, ooh, 15 viewers, nice. Okay. Oh, I don't even know where to start here. I might try to figure out just a little bit of simple detailing here. We got like probably 15 minutes left in this stream. Alright. I'm just trying to find some sandbag pieces because I put a lot of them on the floor for some reason or another. Alright. Give me a second. Okay. Now, I have an idea, and I sort of had this before I was doing this. I'm going to sort of get some of the detailing done already, just to sort of show you some of what I'm planning here. That can work. Alright, so there's going to be that sandbag right there, and there's going to be some Americans hiding behind it, maybe aiming a bazooka or something. And I might as well get some of them posed. You know what Panzer it is? Used it. I got a Panzer for 76 pence from a welcome deal, AliExpress. Siemens used it in the Stalingrad video. I don't know how much 76 pence is, but it sounds probably pretty cheap if it's from AliExpress, so that's nice. I don't really have, like, any vehicles that are skinny enough to go along here. You know, I might try to figure out how to make this road a little bit wider so that I can add, like, a German... probably not a vehicle, but just something there. I'm going to do all this right now and then try to figure out the rest of it later. But should be pretty quick, simple, easy fix. I say that and then I can't find the parts, so maybe not so easy fix. I'll have to find it. Okay, that works actually pretty well. It's like about what I'd be looking for anyways. And I don't have, like, hold up, Kobe Tiger and Kobe M18 Hellcat. Used all my money. It's just, yeah, that's like my biggest problem with Kobe. I've questioned, like, buying from other brands because, like, they actually have pretty decent customs for a lower cost than other companies, but I don't know, not Kobe. I probably wouldn't get from Kobe. That's just my personal opinion, though. If you like Kobe, I don't have anything against you. Yeah. I feel like figs are a big part of it for me, at least, though. I feel like they make or break builds, and I mean, like, I'm talking some higher quality stuff. Like Brickmania figs are nice, but they're not like Minifig Co. And they charge more for their stuff, so that's sort of my problem with some of the more expensive stuff. Oh, 7 likes, thank you guys. But yeah, that's just sort of my biggest problem with them. I think they're a great company and they have some really, really cool stuff, but it's just a little bit overpriced sometimes. Okay, so now I have to figure out what type of building I'm even doing here. Okay. I mean, I had like some white arch pieces which I could use there, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have like a sort of plaza area up front here. So I'm gonna add in some of these parts around here and just try to tile it off a little. Make this look all nice. But at about every 4 brick interval, I'm gonna add I'm already messing up my plan here. Gosh. Okay. I sort of have an idea, and I think I'm going to try to see where this goes. Okay. Probably something like that could look really good. Then just need to find a couple more parts. Okay. No, I have an idea here. Okay. Do I have like a... I might have just thrown the piece somewhere, but I had an arch piece somewhere. Here it is. Give me a sec. Okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to have like a stone arch that goes across there. And then I'm going to have a doorway that's sort of more in there. I'm going to try to find a white arch piece in here. And that's a little bit better. Okay. That works. So now I just need to find sort of the right pieces that'll make this look nice and work. Combined it. TMC United Bricks and fake minifigs. Nice. Yeah, I like a lot of that stuff, but I don't know. Think it's all pretty good stuff. If you buy like from the right fakes, I've seen people who buy some pretty convincing stuff, so I have yet to even buy any, so I probably shouldn't even have an opinion on it, but I do anyways. Okay, now I just need to grab some pieces from here. Okay, so I could do something like that. I'm not sure how that would look, though. I also sometimes paint my minifigs myself. That's really nice. I've tried that, but only on a helmet, and I think it turned out pretty well, so I could probably convince myself to do it again, but I don't know. I could do something like that. No, that's a little bit too tall. I don't know. I think it looks alright, but maybe not quite what I'm looking for. I need like a pillar, and I don't really have any pillar pieces. Anyways, we're getting close to around 5 minutes left in this stream. I'm probably going to end it and then just work on it. And I'm going to record all of it, don't worry. This might actually come out by Tuesday, depending on how I work on this, but it gives me something to do tomorrow, and I have absolutely nothing to do, so at the very least, that's a good thing. Probably go... No, that doesn't quite look right, but something like that could look cool. Just a little bit low. Alright, I'm not sure how much more progress I'm going to make on this in the meantime, but what I might do is when I film the video, I might come back a little bit later and like have the building already done, because this is going to be a pain to build. I can already tell it's gonna, but it looks alright. I think it looks nice. I just need to sort of build it up right, or else it's not going to look quite as good as I want it to. And just grab a couple more of these pieces. Alright. And just grabbing a couple more parts. Oh, 10 viewers. Welcome into the stream. That's nice. We're just about to end it though, which is sort of unfortunate. Okay. Now I'm going to sort of work on this finishing arch, if I can. Now I do like this sort of gunshot look, where you can sort of see there are these holes in the pillar. I think those look really nice. I do like that, so I'll probably have like an overhang, and then the other door or whatever. But I think that looks really nice so far, so I'll see how this all turns out at the end. But this has been a pretty nice stream. Thank you guys for all joining. Probably gonna end it a couple minutes, but I'll occupy myself with a couple of builds. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. It really means the world to me when you guys are here, and this was a really nice stream. Glad you guys were talking and having fun. It's really all that I want to do here. Maybe build a couple of mocks along the way, but that is about it. Okay. Now I'm going to have my door here, probably. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to move it over a little. Whoa. Okay. So I'll do something like that, and then the door is going to be in this section. Yeah. Pretty successful. I'm happy with it. Great stream. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Alright. I'll see you guys in the next video, and thank you all for joining. Have a beautiful